warning sign that you are or you have been around a narcissistic individual is that you become full of self-doubt. You become very confused, you become very anxious, you're very fearful, you're walking on eggshells around them. You feel like you must please them, you've got to appease them. You often feel very guilty for having your own thoughts, your feelings, your opinions. You feel bad for setting a boundary. You feel afraid to set a boundary. And this is usually because they will cause that brain fog within you, that confusion and that self-doubt within you. Now, FOG is an acronym for how a narcissistic individual will use fear, obligation and guilt against you to coercively control you into living life on their terms. They will instill fear in you, utilizing things such as intimidation, where they might just start standing in your way, they might just stand over you, they might just block doorways, they might get in your personal space or slam doors, damage property. They can use physical intimidation against you. They can use subtle threats where they might just claim, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Or they can actually outright tell you what they will do if you were to do something. And then they will claim that they were only joking, they were only messing. You take things far too seriously. They will threaten to harm you, they will threaten to harm a loved one, they will threaten to harm themselves. And not just physically, they can threaten to get you to lose your career, or they might leave their career, or they will threaten to get their children kicked out of their favourite hobbies. They will use their tone of voice, they will use that contempt towards you. They will fall silent on you before, during or after an event. So you learn to walk on eggshells around them for fear of negative reactions or negative consequences from them. Then they will use obligation against you. So they will create that sense of obligation within you to make you feel responsible for their well-being, for their happiness, claiming how much they've sacrificed to be there for you, to support you. And after everything they've done for you, you can't do this one little thing for them, and then they fall silent on you. Or they guilt trip you. Every action with a narcissist is a transaction. So any past favours they've done for you, they're going to use against you as emotional manipulation to get their needs met by you. If you have young children with a narcissistic individual who is extremely inconsistent with them, will not take responsibility for them, yet finds a way to justify, excuse their behaviour and blames you, and you can recognise the negative consequences this is happening on your children, so you try to stand up to them, they're going to try and guilt trip you. Think about the children. What are you doing to the children? Because they know you care about them. They're not interested. They're just interested in making you feel responsible, making you take the blame so that you change your actions to work in the narcissist's favour, which often works against you and any of those who you care about. Narcissistic people are looking for control. Therefore, they're going to go all out to manipulate any given situation so that you look like the problem, so that they can play the victim, so that they can gain the sympathetic attention, and you're the one that's left feeling confused, guilty, full of fear, full of dread, and full of anxiety.